Which types of companies have a higher chance of succeeding?
Companies that have to build the customers, the revenue before they can raise.
Until you're Series A, you are better off outsourcing. Can you tell me how you got to that conclusion?
Never spend money hiring employees.
I went on Upwork, found like these incredible engineers that are surprisingly cheap. I'll give you $50 million at a $500 million valuation today. Would you take it?
Yeah, I will.
At what price would you say no?
If it was 50 at 200, I'll say no.
About Meg, how you guys met?
Co-founder matching platform, mostly because of our shared interest. It clicked right away because she knew the stuff about deep tech companies that I didn't.
Kislay, welcome to the Zooksy Pooksy. Sometimes when you're inside a self-driving vehicle, things might happen.
Say hi.
Hi, Zooksy. Introduce yourself and what you're building.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kislay Parashar. I am an engineer with background in space systems and defense systems. A little bit of quantum computing. Worked in IonQ before, one of the quantum computing giants now, and moved into space satellite systems with the second largest LEO constellation, and left that job to start this company called Cosmic Labs. Cosmic Labs, we are building AI for embedded and firmware engineers. Essentially anything below operating system layer and everything above fabrication layer, we want to tackle all those problems. We have started our go-to-market with data centers where changing things in that layer pretty often is a big constraint for their deployment themselves. And in the long term, we want to tackle the robotics, the drone market, and pretty much all types of hardwares. We are compatible with all types of hardware as well, from microcontrollers with very low compute to FPGAs and ASIC boards with very high compute as well.
For the audience that might not know this, what's a NEO constellation?
It's a LEO constellation,
LEO.
low Earth orbit constellation.
Got it.
Around the Earth, there are multiple orbits where satellites can traverse the Earth.
And then is there any connection between what you used to do in space and what you're doing now with Cosmic Labs?
Yes. What I used to do in space was setting up these firmware boards, Linux server boards for these satellites or for satellite land gateways quickly and deploy them and then change them rapidly for changing circumstances. And now I do it agentically using an AI model instead.
Is this product live?
Yes, we are live with enterprise customers already. Just kicked off our first beta last week.
One thing that I learned from you is, I think you said something like, until you're Series A, you pretty much shouldn't hire full-time engineers, or like you are better off outsourcing. Can you tell me how you got to that conclusion?
Caveat, I don't believe that to be true for every company. I just believe that to be true for companies in the AI space, and especially the ones that are staying away from R&D. If you're in research and development, hire the good talent, the great talent as soon as possible and bring them in person. But if you're not, if you're making and evolving a existing industry into an AI way of doing things, I would suggest never spend money hiring employees, keeping your team as small as possible, and using contractors through Upwork, Fiverr, and such to kind of shorten the gap of talent and needs that you may have.
I think the Silicon Valley wisdom is always like, never outsource, especially all the technical work. You got to do it in-house. Okay, can you first steel man your argument and tell me why that could be true for a product-based, not an R&D, but a product-based company? And then what is your response to people that might say that?
I think the Silicon Valley wisdom falls short of the new AI era itself. Most people in Silicon Valley have been used to a way of doing things, which may not be true anymore. Your AI agents, as you as a cursor user or lovable user already know, can take on 70 to 80% of the useless or boring tasks that an engineer used to do. Now, the amount of tasks that you have to delegate itself has reduced significantly. First, keeping that in mind, and if you're not going highly technical, your IP for the patenting purposes and keeping it secure doesn't matter to you as much, then bringing in another developer only to kind of fulfill that short gap between what an AI agent can do today and what you have to get done would be great. I also of the school of thought that in 2 years or so, when AI agents are good enough, you can go back to not hiring on contractors.
So again, this is like a temporary situation. Yeah, I think as soon as I got your advice about that, I went on Upwork, found these incredible engineers that are surprisingly cheap.
Very cheap.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the best thing. You want to run your startup and keep as much equity as possible, be able to really steer it in a particular direction. You can't do that if you keep on raising money to keep on hiring more employees again and again and giving up huge amounts of equity.
Yeah.
Keeping the entire recruitment cost down to 20,000, 30,000 a year is insane. You can only do that today.
Insane. So this kind of brings me to, when you mention equity, we have a lot of friends, a lot of people that we know that raise an insane amount of capital with little to nothing to show for it. And then there's people like you and I who don't want to raise, or like were unable to raise with hype and have to build actual companies. Do you think one school of thought would succeed more than the other, or which types of companies have a higher chance of succeeding?
I truly believe the companies that have to build the customers, the revenue before they can raise, have a higher chance of success. We'll see that more people become successful out of it. It's simple. We are closer to our customers. At the end of the day, companies are supposed to make money. They cannot be just research labs in a university. The people who are raising a ton of money with venture capital are mostly turning out to be frontier AI labs, and they are all quoting to their VCs that we don't know how we'll make money. We'll make something super intelligent, and then that will tell us how to make money. And that can only take you so far until you're 5 years in, hundreds of millions of dollars into this company, and you see that there is no return coming in. So this is like only for 2 more years.
So if someone came to you and is like, "Hey, Kislay, I'll give you $50 million at a $500 million valuation today," would you take it?
At 500 million, yeah, I will.
At what price would you say no?
If it was 50 at 200, I'll say no. My point is, it depends on the overall equity structure. In my world, me and my co-founder, by the time we are at CDC, should not have given up more than 40%, 45% of our equity. In no world, I would go above 50, which is not the norm so far, at least before 2020. By the time CDC came around, most founders were at like 25, 30%. And that was a good case scenario.
And what would you like to be at Series C?
For me and Meg combined, I would like to be at 65, 60, 65.
That's a lot. Yeah. At Series C.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Can you tell us about Meg, how you guys met and like your working relationship?
Meg and I met on Y Combinator's co-founder matching platform, mostly because of our shared interest on quantum computing. It's insane how few people are in quantum computing, and especially how few people were in quantum computing 3 to 4 years ago. I joined quantum computing back in 2016, 2017. Back then, there were like 100 people on Earth who were doing it properly or even doing it at all. Quantum computing, very few people available who even know about it. Finding someone in both like the technical side and on the sales side of this type of a deep tech area is rare. So it clicked right away because she knew the stuff about deep tech companies that I didn't, because the sales, the business side of things. And I knew about the deep tech companies, the technical side that she didn't. So combined together, our ideas were overlapping a lot in terms of what we wanted to do, plus also how we can help each other to do it. And that kind of formed a bond over the course of a few months, trying to figure out satellite space systems, some other deep tech work, and now you're here.
That's awesome. All right, I kind of want to show people what the Zoox experience is like. So I'll just like rotate this. Whoa. Howdy. Look at Kislay again. We are zero driver vehicle.
Yeah.
That's a little hard.
Literally no steering wheel here.
No steering wheel in this, which is insane.
I would like to see how it does on a hill.
Foot back on here. Yeah, I think the reason why they chose the mission,
because that's the only spot without a hill.
Yeah. One context that we should add is that we're roommates.
Yeah.
And in our house, we also have Meg. Yes. We have
Meg's my co-founder, and Maurice, Girum's co-founder, is also there.
And then at any given time, we might have, I don't know, like between 1 and 3 other people working at the apartment. Did you have roommates before this?
Yeah, at times. I used to, in college, senior year, I lived with like 7 people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but we had like a huge house. Huge house. We had think of it as a frat house.
And were you working with these people as well?
No.
This is definitely my first experience working and living
together
with another company. How's it been for you?
Pretty good so far, honestly. The only thing that I have to figure out is like, as we expand into bigger companies, how are we going to fit all of it in the same place? But I think that's a problem for 6 months out.
Yeah, and it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It means stuff is working. Do you think you'd rather go bigger hacker house, let's get like a 12-bedroom place somewhere in Palo Alto or whatever, and have everyone living in there? Or do you think we live in a small, in an apartment in San Francisco and have an office externally?
I would like the latter, but I also don't want to have an apartment. Ideally, what I would prefer is like the office area would be essentially like a factory come lab, because our work is going to be in a lab, so it'll be liquid cooled, high electricity and all that, and just have an apartment on top, split into places. She can have her own, I can have my own.
That, I mean, it's important to live super close to your office because like you don't want to waste 25 minutes commuting to and from there every day.
But I still want a level of separation. Like our apartment right now, the separation level is not enough. It's mostly because, and we have had issues with like one person having a meeting and the other person having a meeting will have to go into a different room.
Yeah.
So a little more separation, but not a lot more.
Can I ask a dumb question? When you and Meg have meetings that both of you guys are in, why don't you sit next to each other instead of...
Yeah, we do that.
No, you don't. Like, almost always. Or sometimes you do. Sometimes she's in her room or you guys are like across the hall from each other.
The times that we're across the hall from each other is when I have to give a demo and it's on my laptop. And if Meg comes on my laptop, she won't be able to speak while I'm talking about the same thing on
That makes
the
a lot of sense. Okay.
But the other times I just go into her room and we take it from her room, or she just joins me on my laptop.
Got it. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. I feel like it's hard interviewing.
So what I'll say is like talking about things happening outside every once in a while makes you really feel like you're still in a car. Because if you don't do that, it'll just feel like as if these guys were filming in a room.
Maybe we'll even put in sponsored by Zooks and then hope they will actually sponsor us. Because that'll be great. Why not?
You'll probably have to reach out to them before.
But this form factor is so nice because I feel like every time I do an interview inside a car, like your neck breaks because like you have to look at a person over there. But in the Zooks, we're like right next to each other.
Yeah, this is so much better.
Yeah. What are some of the crazy stories you've had inside a Waymo or a self-driving vehicle?
Honestly, the craziest story I've had is the other day when I was taking a Waymo. We were going up like very steep one of the SF hills, and it just kind of failed at the very top. And
like, what do you mean it failed?
Like, the brakes went away, so it started pulling back while we were in the car. Thank God no car was behind us, and then it put emergency brakes on and then went back up. But that was pretty scary because we were at the very top, so if it started falling, there was no way I could have stopped either. Yeah,
that would have been bad. And I feel like when we were coming back from that event the other day,
that same thing happened there, just like it was at the very top and I was inside the car.
That's crazy. Yeah, for us, it was Maurice Tillman and I. Tillman was in the front. We were going I don't know where we were going, but it was one of those roads where cars are parked on one side. It's technically a two-way street, but it's so tight, only one car can pass one at a time. So we're behind a car. This car that's in front of us sees a parking spot, turns its hazard lights on, and it kind of expects you to stop so it can like back up into the spot. But as soon as it passes the freaking parking spot, the Waymo just comes and blocks it from the back, and it doesn't give it enough space to back into the parking spot that it found. Right. This guy gets out of the car and is like, "What the fuck, man? Why the hell did you block me?" Starts screaming at Tillman. I was sitting in the front of the Waymo. Like, what the hell do you want us to do, you know?
Oh, they might want to give the user a little more flexibility on self-driving cars, though.
Wouldn't it be cool if it gave us like a joystick?
Or just a voice control. You can tell it to do something differently. It can say no to you. Yeah. Sure. But give us voice back. Like, you can hear them, might as well talk to them.
Yeah. Zooks has really good customer service, is what I've noticed. Like yesterday, Maurice and I went shopping in a Zooks. We're on our way home. And he put a bunch of stuff on the seat right here. And the sensors detected that it was a person, or thought it was a person, and said, you got to buckle it in. We were a little confused. We didn't know what to do. The car stops. And it's like, not everyone is buckled in. Someone immediately comes in on the intercom. Okay. And is like, hey, what's going on? The car stopped. And we kind of explained the situation. They kind of told us to, put this stuff on the floor. I don't remember exactly what they said. Yeah. But the service was fine. They told us how to solve it. We left. When we got to our destination, before our doors opened, the customer service went back on. And it was like, hey guys, just wanted to remind you, before you leave, can you please unbuckle the thing so that the next user doesn't have to deal with it. It was a great experience.
Very cool. Yeah. How many Zooks have they deployed in mission already? Do you know?
I have no idea. No. But like I imagine it's a lot more than the demand that's available. Because like I called the ride, in 2 minutes the car was there. So very little wait times, at least for me.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's, well, in the beta there might not be as many people in the first place.
That could be true. Yeah.
But I've seen enough of it that there is definitely quite a few.
Yeah. So what has your experience been? Like, give us your initial thoughts of a Zoox.
Oh, honestly, pretty awesome. Like, feels like a living room, just chatting. Could bring in a table here, play poker.
Oh shit, maybe that could be an episode.
Yeah.
There you go. 4 people were playing poker in a Zoox.
Could be pretty awesome, honestly.